The stars were always silent, but on this day, Earth's quiet peace was shattered by an unexpected message. The Galactic Empire, a vast and powerful coalition of alien species that spanned the galaxy, had set its sights on Earth's solar system. This was not a simple request for trade or diplomatic relations, but an urgent, unyielding demand. They wanted passage. Earth, a young and struggling planet in the eyes of galactic powers, had only recently begun to explore the universe beyond its own star. Its technology was far behind that of the Empire's most advanced civilizations. The Empire had seen this as an opportunity, a simple logistical request for their fleet to travel through Earth's solar system on their way to deal with a war against a rival faction. But when the Terran Accord, the unified government that represented all of Earth, received the Empire's formal request, they did not hesitate. They did not cower, as other species might have. They didn't agree to the terms. Instead, they sent a response that stunned the Empire's ambassadors. The message from Earth's leaders was brief, but filled with power. No passage will be granted. The Empire had expected Earth to be compliant, to be weak, and to yield without question. After all, Earth had only recently made contact with the galaxy and was far from being a dominant force. It had no large fleets, no powerful warships. What could they possibly do against the might of the Galactic Empire? They had underestimated humanity, and the consequences of that mistake would soon become clear. The Empire's reaction was one of confusion, followed by irritation. A planet like Earth, small, new, and primitive, refused to comply with the will of the Empire. It didn't make sense. It couldn't make sense. What could be so important to these humans that they would stand in the way of a massive, unstoppable fleet? In the grand halls of the Empire's capital, a meeting was called to address Earth's bold refusal. High-ranking officials from various alien species debated the next steps. Some of them proposed ignoring the refusal, launching their ships anyway, and simply asserting their power. Others warned that humanity's defiance should not be taken lightly. Earth has no military. One representative from the Vakor, a reptilian race, sneered. They do not have the capacity to stop us. We will go through, and they will have no choice but to accept. A calm voice from the Zinthar delegation, a race of wise, bird-like beings, spoke up. We should not underestimate them. This planet has a history of unexpected survival. The humans are clever. They may have a defense we do not understand. The debate raged on, but in the end, the Imperial leadership decided on a simple course of action. They would send a small reconnaissance fleet to Earth. The fleet would not attack, but simply observe. If Earth's leaders saw the might of the Empire up close, they would surely bow to their demands. But the fleet was not prepared for what they would find. Days later, the Empire's first ships arrived at the outer edge of the solar system. Earth's solar system, a place of quiet beauty and untouched serenity, was suddenly pierced by the arrival of advanced ships, ships that could travel faster than light, ships capable of destroying entire planets with a single blow. The scouts sent by the Empire came within range of the outer planets, ready to take a closer look at Earth and decide how to proceed. But then something strange happened. A force, unseen and unknown, suddenly struck the fleet. At first, there was no explanation. The Empire's ships, advanced and nearly invincible in the eyes of the galaxy, seemed to falter. Systems malfunctioned. Shields dropped. Weapons failed. The once imposing vessels were halted mid-flight. An unknown force prevented them from moving forward. The ships sent out an urgent transmission back to the Empire's command center. They had been stopped. The Terran Accord had acted swiftly and decisively. Earth had been preparing for this day. The humans had built something that no one in the galaxy had expected, a defense system so advanced that it could disable even the mightiest of fleets. It was a technology they had secretly developed over decades, using the knowledge gained from their brief encounters with alien civilizations. It was called the Aegis Barrier, and it covered the entire solar system like an invisible shield. The Empire, still stunned by the sudden turn of events, had no choice but to reconsider. They had underestimated Earth's strength, and now they had to face the consequences. The Terran Accord's warning echoed in their minds. Leave immediately. The message was clear. Earth was not a place to be ignored. It was not a planet to be trampled on. If the Empire wanted to pass, they would have to do so on Earth's terms. And Earth had just shown the Empire that, despite its seeming weakness, it would not bow to any foreign power. The Galactic Empire had been given an ultimatum. The next move was theirs. But it was clear now. Humanity was not going to be intimidated. The response from Earth had left the Galactic Empire stunned. The Aegis Barrier, a system unlike any the Empire had encountered, stood as a silent wall between their fleet and the rest of the solar system. For a moment, the mighty Empire seemed uncertain. Their ships were powerful, their weapons unmatched, but nothing in their arsenal could break through the barrier Earth had placed around its home. Back on Earth, the Terran Accord was meeting urgently, the leaders of humanity gathering in one of the largest underground chambers in the capital. The room buzzed with tension as diplomats, military leaders, and scientists discussed the situation. Humanity had always been a peaceful species, but now they found themselves caught between their desire to protect their home and the pressure of an overwhelming empire. "Can we trust them?" asked Commander Zora Aline, head of the Terran Defense Forces. She was a woman of few words, but when she spoke, her voice carried the weight of experience. Her eyes scanned the room, locking with the faces of the others. They may have sent a small fleet for now, but this is only the beginning. If they want to push through, they'll try again, and next time, they might come with more force. "We don't have to trust them," President Daniel Grayson replied, his voice calm but firm. "But we must use this moment wisely. Earth cannot afford to appear weak." The room fell silent. The situation was delicate. The Empire's power was immense, and their technological superiority was beyond what Earth's military could challenge. The defense network they had just displayed, the Aegis Barrier, was their trump card, but it was a secret humanity had guarded closely for years. The world didn't know about it, and neither did the Empire. Earth had kept it hidden, knowing that one day it might be needed. That day had come. "The barrier is strong, but it won't stop them forever," said Dr. Alana Cheng, one of Earth's top scientists. "The Empire has the resources to adapt, and they will. We need to prepare for that, or else the Aegis will become useless." The president nodded, then turned to the screen displaying a map of the solar system. A small red dot marked the location of the Empire's fleet, now held at bay. "We've been developing the Aegis Barrier for years, but that's not all we've been working on. The Empire has made one fatal mistake. They've underestimated the human spirit." He paused, his words carrying the weight of a decision. "This is Earth's moment to show that we will fight for our freedom. We have the power to defend ourselves, not just with technology, but with everything that makes us human." Commander Zora Aline spoke again. "We need to show them that we can not only defend ourselves, but also retaliate if we must. They will never understand that we fight for more than just survival. We fight for a future where Earth stands tall, side by side with other galactic civilizations, not as a conquered species." The plan was set. The Terran Accord would not only maintain the Aegis Barrier, but would also send a message. The Empire had underestimated humanity's ingenuity, but now it would witness the power of Earth's hidden weapon. Unbeknownst to the Empire, Earth had a secret that went beyond the Aegis Barrier. Over the years, scientists and engineers had worked tirelessly to reverse engineer some of the alien technology Earth had encountered during their brief exchanges with the galaxy. What they had learned had been incorporated into the barrier, making it more than just a shield. The barrier was, in fact, a highly advanced defense grid, a network of interconnected satellites, energy fields, and algorithms that could disrupt any foreign technology that came too close. It could disable enemy ships, scramble communication systems, and even manipulate the flow of energy within their vessels. But the most important aspect of the barrier was its adaptability. The Aegis isn't just a defense, Dr. Ching had said once. It's a weapon of its own. We've designed it to learn from every encounter, to grow stronger the more it's challenged. Earth's military forces had also prepared for a more direct form of defense. As the Empire's fleet hovered just outside the solar system, the Terran fleet assembled. Earth had no massive warships or battleships of their own, but they did have something that no other empire in the galaxy had: the Talon-class drones. These small, highly maneuverable drones were equipped with advanced weaponry and could operate autonomously or in swarms. The drones were Earth's answer to the Empire's superior fleet. Unlike most alien races, humanity had focused on innovation rather than sheer size and power. The Talon drones were the result of years of research into artificial intelligence and advanced weapon systems. They could adapt to any battlefield scenario and strike fast, catching enemies off guard before they could respond. As the Empire's scouts continued their search for weaknesses, Earth's drones were already in position, waiting for the signal. The ships of the Empire were formidable, but they were not prepared for the speed and precision of the Talons. Yet, even with their technology, Earth's leaders knew that they had to be careful. The Empire would not back down easily. This was only the beginning. They had to show strength, but they also had to be smart. They needed to send the Empire a message. Earth would not be bullied. The Terran Accord's message had already been delivered. No passage would be granted. Now it was time for the Empire to decide whether they would respect humanity's power or risk provoking the wrath of a species that had just begun to show its true potential. The Empire had underestimated Earth, and now, as their fleet hovered near the edge of the solar system, they were about to learn just how wrong they had been. The sudden malfunction of their scout ships had sent ripples of doubt through their command. What kind of planet could have technology that disrupted their advanced fleet so easily? The Empire's diplomats and military leaders quickly realized that Earth wasn't as helpless as they had assumed. The Aegis barrier was no ordinary shield. It was a weapon, and it was standing between them and their goal. In the high command of the Galactic Empire, the tension was palpable. Admiral Sila's voice was sharp as she addressed her officers. "We've encountered resistance. Earth's defenses are stronger than we expected, but this is just the beginning. We cannot let a primitive species dictate the course of our mission. We are the Empire, and we will not be deterred by some planet with primitive technology." Her words echoed in the Grand Hall, but they lacked the confidence they once had. Her advisors were wary, aware of how quickly things had escalated. The Empire's fleet had already lost a few ships due to the mysterious interference of the Aegis barrier, and this was only the first test. There was something deeply unsettling about facing an unknown enemy who had clearly prepared for this confrontation. But Admiral Sila had no choice but to press forward. "Prepare a full fleet. We will break through Earth's defenses." Meanwhile, on Earth, the Terran Accord watched the movements of the Empire's fleet closely. Commander Zora Aline stood before a large screen displaying the enemy ships. "They're coming. They won't stop until they force their way through," she said, her voice steady but filled with the weight of the situation. "We must be ready. This is more than just a defense. It's a message." President Daniel Grayson stood at her side, looking at the screen. "The Empire believes they are unstoppable, but they don't understand the strength of human resolve. We've prepared for this moment. Now we show them what it means to challenge Earth." The plan was simple but bold. Earth's forces would deploy every available resource to protect their home. The Aegis barrier would hold as long as necessary, but it was the next part of the plan that would show the Empire just how far Earth was willing to go. Humanity wasn't going to just sit behind their defenses and hope for the best. Earth's fleet, though smaller, would engage the Empire's ships directly. The Talon drones, a new addition to Earth's defense arsenal, would lead the charge. The Talons, small and fast, were an unexpected force. They could swarm the larger ships of the Empire, overwhelming them with precision strikes. These drones were equipped with advanced energy weapons capable of disrupting enemy shields and causing critical damage to their ships. Unlike the large, slow-moving Imperial warships, the Talons were built for speed and adaptability. As the Empire's fleet advanced, a cloud of Talon drones was released from Earth's defense stations. They darted through space, their sleek forms a blur against the darkness of the stars. The drones moved with purpose, their eye-guided targeting systems locked onto the largest ships in the enemy fleet. The Empire's ships were unprepared for the speed and agility of the Talons. The drones didn't need to engage in direct combat. Instead, they danced around the larger ships, using their small size to avoid being caught in the ship's weapons fire. With incredible accuracy, they began targeting weak points in the Imperial ship's hulls and shields, causing chaos in the enemy fleet. Admiral Scylla watched in disbelief as her ships began to falter. "What are they doing?" she demanded, her voice rising with frustration. "These drones are nothing more than pests. We have to crush them." But it was more than just a matter of size. The Talons weren't merely irritating the Empire's fleet. They were effective. The drones had been designed specifically for this kind of battle. Fast, precise, and overwhelming. They used their numbers to confuse and disorient the Empire's sensors, rendering the larger ships almost useless. The Empire had never faced anything like this before. As the battle continued, Earth's forces proved their resilience. The Aegis barrier held strong, deflecting any attempts the Empire made to break through. On the ground, the Terran defense forces prepared for the worst, knowing that the Empire would not back down easily. The battle in space was only a precursor to the larger struggle to come. If the Empire didn't turn back soon, Earth would be forced to escalate. Back in the Imperial Command Center, Admiral Scylla was losing her patience. "Send in the reinforcements," she ordered. "We will push through, no matter what." She had come too far to allow a small planet to stand in her way. But what Scylla failed to understand was that Earth wasn't just any small planet. Humanity had faced threats throughout its history and had always found a way to survive. Whether against natural disasters, wars, or the unknown, humans had always fought back. And now, standing against the Empire, they would show the galaxy that they were not a species to be underestimated. The Empire's reinforcements arrived, but the battle had already shifted. Earth's drones were everywhere, striking from every direction, their speed and unpredictability keeping the Imperial fleet off balance. The Empire's ships tried to regroup, but their communication systems were hacked, their strategies undermined. Earth's forces had planned for every eventuality. And now, the Empire's might was being tested in ways they had never imagined. As the first waves of Imperial ships began to retreat, Commander Zora Aline watched with a grim satisfaction. "We've sent our message," she said quietly. "Now, let's see if they'll listen." The Empire's retreat, though temporary, was a shockwave that rippled through their ranks. Earth had proven its point. Humanity was not to be underestimated. But as Admiral Scylla regathered her forces, a new plan was being hatched, one that would bypass the strength of Earth's defenses and strike at its heart. If brute force was not the answer, then subtlety and cunning would have to be the Empire's weapons. In the Empire's high command, frustration and anger fueled a new strategy. It became clear to the Imperial leadership that Earth's unexpected strength needed to be neutralized from within. They could not afford another direct confrontation like the one they had just faced. So, the Empire turned to their intelligence networks. They decided to send in covert agents to Earth, hoping to infiltrate the heart of the Terran defense systems. The goal was simple: sabotage the Aegis barrier from within and cripple Earth's defenses before they could act again. The plan was risky, but the stakes were high. The agents, experts in espionage, would infiltrate Earth's government and military by any means necessary. They would blend in, gather intel, and find a way to disable the Aegis barrier. The Empire believed that with the right inside help, the wall protecting Earth could be brought down, allowing their fleet to pass unhindered. On Earth, Commander Zora Aline and President Daniel Grayson were well aware that the Empire would not give up so easily. The initial victory had been a morale boost for humanity, but they knew the Empire would find new ways to challenge them. And so, Earth's leaders had prepared for this as well. Humanity had a vast network of spies and intelligence officers of its own, and they had been monitoring the Empire's movements closely. It wasn't long before Earth's intelligence division, known as SDNTCOM, uncovered whispers of the Empire's new plan. A team of elite agents had infiltrated Earth's cities, posing as diplomats, scientists, and workers. The Terran Accord had expected this move, and they were ready to respond. SENTCOM, working with Earth's military and security agencies, quickly mobilized a task force to track down the spies. The infiltrators, however, were skilled. They moved in shadows, blending seamlessly into Earth's bustling cities, their faces hidden behind the masks of ordinary life. Yet, no one could hide from Earth's finest. It was in a small research facility in New Berlin where the first sign of the spies' activities was uncovered. Dr. Alana Cheng, the scientist responsible for the development of the Aegis barrier, noticed something odd in her data, a glitch, a subtle shift in the readings. The system wasn't as secure as it should have been. Someone was tampering with it. "Zara, we have a problem," Dr. Cheng said urgently, contacting Commander Aline. "Someone's trying to hack into the barrier's control systems. It's subtle, but it's there. If we don't act fast, they could disable the Aegis." The warning came just as the Empire's agents were about to make their move, but Earth was one step ahead. Using the information from SENTCOM's surveillance network, Zara Aline and her team located the infiltrators. The agents, while highly trained, were not prepared for the relentless pursuit of Earth's elite counterintelligence units. Zara's voice was steady as she gave the orders. "Move in. Capture them before they can do any more damage." The hunt was on. A covert operation was launched in the heart of New Berlin. The agents, realizing their cover was blown, scrambled to cover their tracks. They tried to flee, but the streets of the city were a maze of advanced technology and surveillance. The agents were quick, but they were no match for Earth's intelligence networks. A tense chase ensued through the crowded streets, the agents moving with military precision, while Earth's forces tracked them down with speed and efficiency. The agents managed to take down a few officers, but they couldn't escape the net closing around them. Within hours, they were caught. Back at the Terran Accord's headquarters, Commander Aline and President Grayson were briefed on the capture. SENTCOM had found out everything: the Empire's full plan, their intentions to disable the Aegis barrier, and the methods they were using. The captured agents were interrogated quickly, revealing the Empire's desperation. They were ready to sacrifice everything to break through Earth's defenses. "The Empire is not just after the barrier," President Grayson said after hearing the full report. "They're after something much bigger. If we let them get close to the barrier again, they'll try a full-scale invasion." Zara Aline clenched her fists. "We can't let that happen. We need to move fast and lock down every vulnerable point. They won't get another chance." The Terran Accord knew now that the stakes were even higher. The Empire was desperate, and they would stop at nothing to break Earth's resolve. But Earth, too, had a powerful weapon in its arsenal: unity. The capture of the spies had only strengthened their resolve. Humanity wasn't just fighting to protect their home. They were fighting to prove that Earth could stand tall among the stars, not as a subject, but as a leader. The battle was far from over, but Earth had gained valuable intelligence. With the Empire's agents now in custody, the Terran Accord began planning their next move. They would take the fight to the heart of the Empire if necessary. Earth would not be intimidated, and they would not be conquered. The Empire had come with force, but it had underestimated the strength of a united humanity. Earth's response was swift, and the Empire's own agents had been caught in the web of their deception. Now, with their secrets revealed, the fight for Earth's survival had entered a new phase, and Earth's people were more determined than ever to hold their ground. The capture of the Empire's spies was a victory for Earth, but it was only one battle in a much larger war. As the days passed, the tension between Earth and the Galactic Empire continued to grow. The Empire had underestimated humanity's resolve, but now, with their agents exposed and their plans foiled, they were left with a choice: retreat or escalate. Admiral Scylla, whose pride had been wounded by Earth's unexpected resistance, was not one to back down easily. She was determined to find a way to break through Earth's defenses, no matter the cost. In the Empire's command ship, the Ravager, Scylla paced back and forth, deep in thought. Her fleet had suffered losses, and the Aegis barrier was still a problem. She had never been one to let failure define her, and now she was focused on one thing: finding the key to breaking Earth's defenses once and for all. "I refuse to retreat," Admiral Scylla said, her voice cold and sharp. "We will find a way. They may have won a few skirmishes, but we will crush them." Her advisors and commanders sat in silence, unsure of what to suggest next. But Scylla had already made up her mind: prepare the next phase of the plan. We'll need to act quickly. Back on Earth, Commander Zora Aline stood at the helm of the Terran Defense Fleet, reviewing reports and preparing for the next step. Earth had scored a significant victory by exposing the Empire's agents, but they knew that the Empire would come again. The question was, when? "We can't afford to wait for them to make the next move," Commander Aline said, addressing the room full of officers. "We know they won't back down. It's only a matter of time before they regroup. We need to stay one step ahead." President Daniel Grayson stood beside her, his face grim but resolute. "We've already shown that we can defend ourselves, but we can't let our guard down. We need to prepare for the worst." The Terran Accord had learned much from their previous encounters with the Empire. They now knew that brute force alone would not guarantee victory. Earth's strength lay not just in its advanced technology, but in its adaptability and ingenuity. The Aegis barrier was just the beginning. Humanity had learned from the Empire's tactics, and they would use that knowledge to their advantage. The most important piece of their strategy was to stay unpredictable. Earth's forces would not fight the Empire in a conventional way. Instead, they would use their intelligence, their resourcefulness, and their willingness to take risks to outsmart the Empire at every turn. Earth's strategy was based on mobility and speed: strike fast and retreat before the enemy could retaliate. "Let's hit them where it hurts," Commander Aline said, her eyes hard with determination. "We've seen the Empire's weaknesses. It's time to exploit them." The plan was set into motion. Earth's fleet would launch a series of surprise strikes against the Empire's supply lines and outlying ships. The goal was to cripple the Empire's ability to resupply its fleet, forcing them to retreat or face certain defeat. The Talon drones, Earth's fast and versatile weapon, would again play a key role in the operation. The drones, deployed in small swarms, would target Imperial supply ships, communications relays, and energy hubs. With their advanced AI and precision targeting systems, the drones could disable key infrastructure with minimal effort. The Empire, for all its might, relied heavily on its supply lines. Without them, even the most powerful fleet would struggle to maintain its strength. As Earth's fleet moved into position, there was a sense of anticipation in the air. The Empire had no idea what was coming. While they were focused on Earth's defenses, they had failed to account for the fact that humanity would not fight by the same rules. Earth's people had something that the Empire could never understand: a fierce determination to protect their home and a refusal to be subdued. Hours later, the attack began. The Talon drones swarmed over the Empire's supply ships, striking quickly and efficiently. The Empire's fleet, still recovering from their previous defeats, was caught off guard. Within moments, entire supply lines were severed, and the Empire's fleet was left struggling to maintain cohesion. "Report." Admiral Scylla's voice rang out across the command deck of the Ravager. "Admiral, we've lost contact with our supply ships," an officer reported. "We're unable to replenish our energy stores. Our communications are being jammed." Scylla's eyes widened with shock and fury. "What happened?" "We don't know, Admiral. It seems they attacked us with some kind of advanced drones. They disabled our ships with pinpoint accuracy. The news was a blow to the Empire's pride. The mighty fleet that had once seemed invincible was now vulnerable. The Empire had underestimated Earth's ability to strike back. Earth had proven that it could not only defend itself, but also attack the heart of the Empire, forcing them to fight on Earth's terms. But the victory was not yet complete. Earth's forces were not invincible, and the Empire still had resources at its disposal. Admiral Scylla, though shaken, was not finished. Gather the fleet. We'll launch a counteroffensive. This is not over. Back on Earth, Commander Aline knew that this battle was far from won. The Empire had been dealt a serious blow, but they were not finished yet. Earth had made a statement, but the war was still raging. The Empire would return, and Earth would have to be ready. "We've shown them that we are not weak," President Grayson said as he reviewed the situation. "But now we need to make sure they understand we won't back down. We have to win this for our future." Earth's people had shown their strength, their unity, and their will to survive. The turning point had come, but the road ahead would not be easy. The Empire would not stop, but neither would humanity. The struggle for Earth's future was just beginning. The shockwaves of Earth's unexpected strikes were still being felt throughout the Empire's ranks. The once proud Galactic Empire, whose fleet had seemed invincible, was now struggling to maintain its control over its supply lines and infrastructure. The Empire's commanders, humiliated by their failure to defeat Earth with sheer force, had begun to question their next move. Admiral Scylla, however, refused to let Earth's victories define the end of this conflict. On the Ravager, her flagship, Scylla was formulating a counteroffensive that would leave no room for mercy. The time for subtlety had passed. Earth had proven itself a worthy adversary, but the Empire's might was vast. Now Scylla intended to remind Earth of the consequences of challenging their authority. "We cannot allow them to believe they can win," Admiral Scylla stated coldly. "Prepare the fleet. We will strike at the heart of their defense systems and show them the true power of the Empire." Back on Earth, Commander Zora Elaine and President Daniel Grayson were keenly aware that the Empire's next move would be the decisive one. Their victory had given them hope, but they knew it wasn't enough. The Empire's fleet would regroup, and when it did, it would be stronger and more determined than ever. Earth could not afford to be complacent. "We've taken a huge step, but we need to be prepared for the worst," Commander Aline said as she addressed Earth's top military officers. "The Empire is not just going to roll over. We need to strengthen our defenses and be ready for their next attack." The Aegis Barrier, Earth's first line of defense, had proven effective, but it was not invulnerable. The Empire would eventually find a way to break through it. Earth's forces needed to build on their strengths: speed, adaptability, and resourcefulness, to keep the Empire on its toes. President Grayson, standing next to Commander Aline, nodded in agreement. "We've shown them that Earth can fight back, but now we have to show them that we won't stop until we've won." The next phase of Earth's strategy was clear. They would take the fight to the Empire. While Earth's defensive forces worked on reinforcing the Aegis Barrier, Earth's fleet would take to the stars. Using their superior knowledge of the Empire's fleet tactics, Earth's forces would strike first, forcing the Empire to defend rather than attack. The key to victory was hitting the Empire when it was least expecting it, hitting them where they were weakest. Earth's forces prepared for their counterattack, launching new fleets of Talon drones and smaller strike ships. They would target the Empire's most vulnerable points: communication centers, energy hubs, and supply depots. These were the lifelines of the Empire's war machine. Without them, the Empire's forces would struggle to sustain their fleet, just as Earth had done with their previous strikes. "Launch the strike force," Commander Aline ordered. "We need to keep them guessing. No mercy." The small but powerful strike ships, supported by the agile Talon drones, launched from Earth's spaceports, moving quickly through the solar system's asteroid belt and toward the Empire's supply lines. The operation was timed perfectly. The Empire's fleet, still in the process of regrouping, had no idea that Earth's forces were already moving. The first targets were the Empire's communication centers. Without the ability to communicate, the fleet's coordination would be crippled. The Talons struck with precision, overwhelming the communication hubs and sending the Empire's fleet into chaos. The Empire's commanders could not issue orders, and their ships were scattered and disorganized. Meanwhile, Earth's strike ships hit their next target, the energy supply stations that powered the Empire's fleet. Without these stations, the Empire's ships would be forced to rely on limited power, severely reducing their effectiveness. The attack was swift, and the damage was catastrophic. The Empire's fleet was now vulnerable. Admiral Scylla, realizing the gravity of the situation, scrambled to regain control. "Activate backup communications," she ordered, her voice strained. "Send reinforcements to the energy stations. We need those power grids back online." But it was too late. Earth's forces had already moved on to their next target, the supply depots. The Empire's soldiers and officers could do little but watch as their provisions, weapons, and ammunition were destroyed. Earth's strike force was relentless, hitting target after target, leaving the Empire's fleet reeling from one blow after another. Back on Earth, President Grayson watched the developments unfold on a large screen. "This is our moment," he said quietly, though the weight of the situation was not lost on him. "If we can keep the pressure on them, we might just be able to win this war." Commander Aline stood at attention, her gaze focused on the screen. "We've shown them that we can stand against them, but we need to stay focused. The war is far from over." As Earth's forces continued their offensive, the Empire began to show signs of weakness. Their once unstoppable fleet was now in disarray. Admiral Scylla, known for her cold determination, could feel the pressure mounting. She knew that this counterattack, though devastating, was not the end. She would need to act quickly to salvage what was left of the Empire's strength. "We cannot let this go on," Scylla muttered to herself. "We will regroup, and we will make them regret ever challenging us." But for now, Earth held the advantage. The Empire's fleet was disorganized, its resources depleted, and its command structure in disarray. Earth had dealt a serious blow, but they knew the war would not be won in a single battle. Earth's forces, with their resilience, ingenuity, and unity, had given the Empire a taste of their own medicine. The Empire had come to Earth with the belief that they could conquer it, but they had underestimated the spirit of humanity. Now, the battle was shifting in Earth's favor, and the fight for Earth's survival was far from over. The war had stretched on for what felt like an eternity. Earth had fought hard, and each victory had come at a high cost, but it had never wavered. Humanity's resilience and unity had proven to be its strongest weapons. The Empire, though formidable, had underestimated the strength of the people of Earth. Now both sides were exhausted, but the conflict was far from over. On the Ravager, Admiral Scylla stood before her war council, her expression grim. The Empire's forces had taken significant hits, and Earth's strikes had crippled their ability to resupply and communicate. Her fleet, once poised to crush Earth's defenses, was now scattered, struggling to recover from the continuous onslaught. Yet Scylla refused to admit defeat. "We have one final chance to turn the tide," Admiral Scylla said, her voice cold with determination. "We've lost precious time, but Earth is not invincible. We will strike at the heart of their power. We will end this now." Her officers listened, knowing that this would be their last push. The Empire's forces were now desperate, but they still had resources at their disposal. If they could take out Earth's central command and destroy the Aegis barrier once and for all, they might have a chance at victory. Back on Earth, Commander Zora Elaine and President Daniel Grayson were preparing for the final confrontation. Earth's forces had inflicted heavy damage on the Empire, but they knew the war was nearing its end. The Empire was coming for them with everything it had left. It would be a fight to the finish. "We've come so far," President Grayson said, standing next to Commander Aline as they watched the situation unfold on their monitors. "But we can't let our guard down. This is the last chance the Empire has to break us." Commander Aline nodded. "We've fought for every inch of our home, and we're not about to lose it now. We'll make sure the Empire understands they can never win." The final battle would be fought at Earth's heart, the Terran Command Center, where the Aegis Barrier's control system was housed. If the Empire could destroy it, Earth's defenses would crumble, leaving the planet vulnerable to invasion. But if Earth could hold their ground, it would be a definitive victory. The Terran Defense Fleet, along with Earth's elite ground forces, was in position, ready to defend their world. Earth's people, united as never before, had one goal: to protect their home and their future. This was the last stand. As the Empire's fleet approached Earth's solar system, the tension in the air was palpable. The final battle was about to begin. On the Ravager, Admiral Scylla led the charge. Her fleet was battered, but still capable of devastating destruction. Her strategy was simple: overwhelm Earth's defenses with everything they had left. She knew that this would be the Empire's final attempt at victory. "Move in," Scylla ordered, her voice firm. "Prepare for the assault. The Aegis Barrier will fall." The Empire's ships advanced, their weapons primed for the assault on Earth's central defense systems. Earth's forces, however, were ready. The Aegis Barrier, though damaged, was still operational. The Terran fleet was poised to strike, and the ground forces were preparing to defend the command center with everything they had. "We can do this," Commander Aline said, addressing her troops. "This is our home. We're not going to let anyone take it from us." The battle began with a roar. Explosions lit up the sky as Earth's fleet engaged the Empire's forces in a brutal space battle. The Aegis Barrier held strong, deflecting most of the Empire's initial attacks. But the Empire's ships were relentless, launching wave after wave of firepower, trying to find a weak point in Earth's defenses. On the ground, Earth's soldiers fought with unmatched determination. They held the line, defending the command center against Imperial soldiers who tried to breach the facility. Earth's forces were outnumbered, but they fought with the ferocity of people protecting their homes. As the battle raged on, it became clear that this was not just a fight for survival, it was a fight for identity. The Empire saw Earth as a small, insignificant planet, a mere obstacle in their path to galactic domination. But humanity had proved time and again that they were more than capable of standing up to the might of an empire. The Aegis Barrier, though strained under the weight of continuous attacks, held firm. Commander Aline knew that as long as the barrier stood, Earth would have a fighting chance. But the Empire's final assault was brutal. They were throwing everything they had left at Earth. In a last-ditch effort, the Empire launched their most powerful weapon, a massive bombardment aimed directly at the Terran Command Center. It was a weapon of mass destruction, capable of obliterating the heart of Earth's defense system in one strike. But the Empire had underestimated Earth's resilience. As the bombardment began, Commander Aline issued one final order. "All forces, focus fire on the enemy fleet. Hold them off. The barrier must survive." The battle reached a fever pitch. Earth's forces, with every ounce of strength they had left, fought back against the Empire's relentless onslaught. The Talon drones, Earth's most advanced technology, swarmed the Empire's ships, striking them down one by one. At the heart of the battle, the Aegis Barrier held strong, reflecting the Empire's last desperate blows. The Empire's fleet, already weakened, began to retreat. Earth had done it. They had held their ground. The Empire's once mighty forces were forced to withdraw. The war was over. Earth had won. As the smoke cleared, Commander Aline and President Grayson stood together, watching the retreating Empire's fleet. Their world was safe, but the victory came at a great cost. The scars of war would remain, but Earth had proven something far more important. No matter how powerful the Empire, humanity would never back down. "We've done it," President Grayson said quietly. Commander Aline nodded. We've shown them that Earth will never be conquered. Humanity had stood its ground. Earth had won, and in doing so, had proven that no empire, no matter how vast, could ever break the spirit of its people. The stars would remain theirs,